There is a peculiar ache that comes with reflection, a soft murmur in the soul, whispering of what once was and what might have been. Love in all its radiance sweeps through our lives like a grand symphony, full of crescendos and delicate silences. And yet when it fades, what remains are the echoes and the questions. Regret is not the enemy of love, it is its shadow. It walks beside our memories, touching the edges of joy with a solemn hand. It reminds us of the words we never spoke, the moments we let slip, the hearts we didn't fight hard enough to keep. This is not a tale of bitterness, but of truth, of human frailty, of tenderness that came too soon or too late. It is the quiet unfolding of two forces, love and regret, dancing through time, leaving behind the stories we carry in our eyes when no one's looking. There are times in life when the heart beats with a force that can move mountains, but there are also moments when it falters, heavy with the weight of memories and decisions that can never be undone. Love in its purest form is meant to be a force that transcends all, an energy that pushes us to places we never thought possible, to heights of joy we never dreamed we could reach. But love too has its dark corners. It is not without its price. The cost of love is not always measured in the beautiful moments shared, but rather in the moments missed, the opportunities unseized, and the words left unspoken. There are those moments when love stands before us, raw and vulnerable, offering itself in all its beauty and its flaws. It is in those moments that we are called to be courageous, to surrender ourselves to its pull, and yet it is often in those moments that we hesitate. We second guess. We fear what love might demand of us. We doubt our ability to give, to endure, to trust, and so we hold back, afraid of the very thing that could transform our lives in ways we cannot yet understand. And when love slips through our fingers, we are left with only the faint echoes of what might have been, the silence of what we could have had but chose not to pursue. Love is not always a fairy tale. It does not always arrive when we are ready. Sometimes it arrives when we are too broken to accept it, too afraid to embrace it. Sometimes we do not recognize it when it stands before us because we are blinded by our own fears and insecurities. We do not see the gift that is offered to us because we are too focused on what we lack, on what we think we deserve. And so we push love away, convinced that it is not meant for us, that we are unworthy of it. But love is not so easily deterred. It will find its way back to us, in different forms, in different faces, in different moments. And when it does, we must be ready to receive it, ready to welcome it with open arms. But it is not always that simple. Love is not just about giving, it is also about receiving. And to receive love, we must first learn to love ourselves. We must accept our own flaws, our own imperfections, and understand that we are worthy of the love we so often deny ourselves. We must recognize that we are deserving of happiness, of peace, of fulfillment. Only then can we truly open ourselves to the love that is waiting for us, the love that has always been there, patiently waiting for us to recognize its presence. But even when we open our hearts fully, love is not always enough. There are times when we give all that we have to give, and yet love does not take root. There are times when we offer everything, and still the other person cannot see us for who we are. They cannot feel the depth of our love, the sincerity of our intentions. And so we are left feeling empty, as if our love was never enough, as if we were never enough. And then comes regret. It is not a loud, boisterous thing, but a quiet companion that follows us through our days, whispering its presence in the back of our minds. It creeps in slowly, like the first chill of autumn, and before we know it, it has settled deep within our bones. Regret is not born from a single moment, but from 1,000 small decisions, 1,000 missed opportunities. It is the accumulation of all the times we said nothing when we should have spoken, all the times we walked away when we should have stayed, all the times we loved with restraint, afraid of fully surrendering ourselves. Regret is the quiet voice that asks, what if? What if we had spoken up? What if we had taken that chance? What if we had been brave enough to say the words that were on our hearts? What if we had loved without fear, without hesitation? It is the silent weight we carry, the burden we bear, long after the love has gone, the memory of what we did not do, of what we could have been. But regret is not just about what we have lost. It is about what we have gained through the loss. It is about the lessons we learn, the growth we experience, the understanding that comes from living through the pain. It is in the regret that we find our resilience, our ability to rise again, to learn from our mistakes and move forward with greater wisdom. Regret teaches us to cherish the moments we have, to hold the ones we love a little closer, to never take for granted the precious gift of time. It reminds us that love is not something to be taken lightly, but something to be nurtured, protected, and valued. Yet even with all its pain, regret is not a curse. It is a reflection of our humanity, a reminder of our capacity to love deeply, to care profoundly, and to feel deeply. It is a sign that we have lived fully, that we have given all that we had to give. And though we may look back with sorrow, we can also look forward with hope. For love, in its truest form, is not defined by our past mistakes, but by our willingness to continue loving, to continue growing, to continue evolving. Love is not a destination, but a journey that is filled with both joy and sorrow, triumph and failure. And it is in that journey that we find our true selves. There will always be regrets. There will always be moments we wish we could change, words we wish we could undo, but there will also be love that is worth the risk, worth the vulnerability, worth the pain, because in the end it is not the absence of regret that defines us, but the depth of our capacity to love, to forgive, and to keep moving forward. And so we continue, carrying both love and regret with us, learning from both, growing through both. For without love there is no regret, and without regret there is no love. They are two sides of the same coin, bound together in the intricate dance of life. And in the end, it is this dance with all its twists and turns, its highs and lows, that makes us who we are. As we walk through this life, we will all encounter moments of love and regret. We will all face the questions that arise from what we have lost and what we have gained. But it is in those moments that we must remember one simple truth, that love, no matter how fleeting, is always worth the risk. It is worth the vulnerability. It is worth the heartache. For in the end, it is the love we give and the love we receive that shapes the very essence of who we are. And though we may not always understand it, we must trust that love has a way of finding us, even when we least expect it, even when we think we no longer deserve it. So we carry on, knowing that love and regret will always walk beside us. And in their quiet dance, they will teach us, they will shape us, and they will guide us toward the truth of who we are meant to be. In the end, love and regret are not opposing forces, but rather intertwined threads that weave the fabric of our lives. Love, in all its beauty and complexity, carries the potential to heal and transform, to elevate us to heights we never imagined. But it also carries the possibility of loss, of unspoken words, of opportunities missed. Regret, though heavy and sometimes painful, is not a punishment. It is a teacher, urging us to reflect, to learn, and to grow. It reminds us that the depth of our love is often measured by the risk we take in embracing it fully. As we move through life, we will encounter both love and regret again and again, each time offering us a new chance to understand ourselves, to understand others, and to understand the powerful forces that shape our hearts. The scars left by regret do not diminish the beauty of love. They enhance it, making it all the more precious and worthy of our devotion. So as we continue this journey, let us carry with us the wisdom of both love and regret. Let us love with abandon, knowing that every moment is a gift. Let us not fear regret, but allow it to guide us toward greater compassion, toward deeper understanding, and toward a fuller, more authentic love. Because in the end, it is the love we give and the love we accept that defines us, not the mistakes we make or the regrets we carry.